Alright, this is CECS 447, Microcontrollers 3, Lab05, Introduction to Bluetooth. The instructions here are to take the smartphone terminal and connect it via Bluetooth to the HC05 Bluetooth hardware, which is then connected to the TM4C via the UART. And the instructions here are to take a G and turn on the onboard LEDs for green, red, and blue for R and B respectively. And then once the confirmation has been sent to the serial terminal, it will display a message here displaying which LED has been turned on. And then sending an E will turn on all its LEDs, and that will make all the LEDs turn on, and sending a Q will turn all the LEDs off. So going into the hardware here, I'm going to go ahead and turn my monitor. So this is the code for my main. Code here shows the port declarations for port F with onboard, the two switches. That's all left over from a previous lab, which I'll just be using in here. Some leftover variables. Let's see. Port F init, different prototype functions, global interrupts, disable interrupts, delay, GPIO interrupt init, pulse width modulations, all just left over but declared because I'm reusing a lot of the code to make it happen. So in the main code here, we disable the interrupts, we enable port F, we set up the phase lock loop to get the 80 megahertz clock, and then we set up UARTs 1 and 0. UART 0 is set up so that we can communicate with the serial terminal, so we can get that output display, which we're going to do by setting up PuTTY. Give me a second, we're going to turn that on. Let me see my second hand. Serial baud rate is the 57600 that we're using for the thing, and then we have column 3, and so that's because we're going to be using the Bluetooth module here. We changed the AT commands, changing the baud rate and the way that it packets the data as it sends it. Anyway, so we have enabled our PuTTY here, which is going to be used to display the commands. There's some left over from previous testing. Let's see. So the main thing here is we have our GPIO interrupts. Then we have our enable interrupts here. After everything's been set up, we re-enable them. And then our main while loop here, we have the input for UART1 in char, read UART into input, UART out char, and this is just going to display the output on the serial terminal of the character that was input and received, so that way we can verify both the signal sent through the phone as well as the actual message received. And then based on the output here, we're going to turn on some stuff. So red LED, green LED, blue LED, and then if you make an error, it's going to display this here. And then this is the port F init. This is what we're using to display the code, or displaying the LED for the onboard. Most of that's done here on PF1, 2, and 3. Those are the onboard LEDs, port F. What else here? So this is the main interrupt init. This is mostly used for the buttons, but we're not using the buttons. And then these are the buttons that turn on the LEDs, which it seems I did not add into the code here, but let me see if I can pause and add those in.